Hello. So this is a really simple thing that happened and happens to all of us often. And I want to talk to you about the lesson it taught me. So we all have our phones with us all the time, right? You have to consciously make an effort to take time out. Like this morning, I went for a walk on the beach and I deliberately left my phone at home rather than listen to a podcast or music or, voice note a friend or whatever the thing is that I normally take my phone on a walk to do. And so I've just come back from 5 days at Medicine Festival. Shout out to all the Medicine Festival people. I go every year since it started. And I took with me a phone bank and I took with me my phone. And my phone isn't, even a year old, and already the battery's because they function, they build devices, they build technologies. It's became a conscious thing that deliberately doesn't last a long time. Failure is built into the device in order that as a consumerist society, we have to buy the new thing, buy the new thing, buy the new thing. Same with clothes. I've got a pair of shorts, I've got t-shirts that I bought when I was 14. I still wear them, but any clothes that I bought in the last 5 years are built to fail. They're built to run out. The elastic's built to wear out, etc. And the same thing with our phones, right? Our tech. So I take my phone to the festival. I hardly look at it because I'm just going with the flow. I'm bumping into who I bump into. I'm having a great time. I'm having a challenging time. I'm, looking for a loo that isn't full. All of the glamour that goes with being at a festival. And then it comes to day 5, and I realize that my phone bank is dead. I can't charge it up, and my battery is like nil point. And so I have to drive home, and I think, oh, that's fine. I'll plug my phone in when I get in the car. And I let it run down to maybe 3%. I get to the car, I plug it in, but the speed with which it charges the phone and the speed with which my phone uses juice is not equal. So my car doesn't charge my phone as fast as the plug point does. So literally I drive to the edge of the field. I get back into reality. Having definitely not been in a reality that I know very well for 5 days. And my sat nav, because I don't have a sat nav in my car. My phone ends, and I had to sit in a lay-by at the side of the road until my battery came back on and my phone could tell me how to get back on the motorway. And what this really taught me for the whole journey, because then it took me 4 hours or something to drive home, and I couldn't use my phone to listen to audiobooks or podcasts or all the things I would usually get my phone to multitask do while I drive. What it taught me was that I waited till it was 2% and then till it was 3%. And then as I was driving in silence, because I didn't want to stress the phone out, as I was driving with this 2 and 3% battery, it was hours before it got above 6%. And I was just realizing my mindset and how grateful I was and how suddenly 6% felt like so much battery, right? I felt like I was rich. I was like, oh, it's on 6% now. Now I can listen to a podcast. Now I can use it to listen to the new thing on YouTube or Spotify or whatever you're listening to, right? And I felt so abundant with my 6% versus my mindset of using my phone, out and about on a daily basis where I'm charging it all the time. And I look at 6% and I would be like, oh, okay, panic stations. Need to plug this in really soon. It's only got 6%. And this is this really simple thing, but it stuck with me for days. For days, this has been a teacher to me. How many areas in my life is there so much abundance? And where am I looking at what I don't have? Where am I looking at the 96% that isn't charged? Where am I thinking 100% is good? 100% is a happy phone, or 80%, and then I'm like safe with my phone, versus the gratitude and the joy. I was very expanded. It's it was a conscious festival. I was very open. So I was feeling everything a little bit more acutely. And I was just really heartened by my 6%. And now I'm looking around and I'm still, I'm in my new flat and I'm still getting a kick every day about having a home that I own, that I love. And every day I'm getting a kick out of like, oh, not much food in the fridge. No, I'm reassessing that mindset. I'm thinking, look at all this, there's maybe it's not a full fridge of food, but looking at what I do have and just taking myself back to the overwhelming abundance that we are all surrounded by. And I work with people on a real spectrum of incomes and money. And one of the areas I work with people on is healing their relationship with money, and because it's been a real journey for me. And I work with people who've got, 500 million plus, right? Huge companies all over the world. And often they're so unhappy. They're so unhappy because it's still coming from this place of fear. It's still coming from the 1% that's missing, or this illusion that even if it's 100%, there's going to be somehow there's more than 100% available. Somebody somewhere is nailing 150%, and I need to be there. And we lose track of what we've got or why we're going where we're going. Why do I need more food in my fridge right now? Why do I need another pair of shoes? Why do I need more battery in my phone than I've got right now? Like, I've got it down. I am abundant. I am held. I am blessed. I am rocking and rolling with as much as I need in this present moment now. Now, of course, there is a grounded aspect, especially when we are looking at finances, to strike that balance between having enough in the present moment, having enough for rainy day or pregnancy time or illness time or play time or retirement, if that's something that you're planning to do. That we need more than enough for the future as well as the present. But it should never, ever, ever stop you living freely in the present. And it's like everything that is important in life. It's not a clear-cut one statement, Instagram post away from solving an issue. Thank you for the people who are commenting in the chat. But it's really reassessing, like, what lens are we looking at our life through? Where are we going? I haven't got enough of that, because too much food and then you're thinking about how to lose weight, right? Too much time with your phone and you're thinking about how do I do a digital detox. Too much of some, and then we always get into fear for the thing that we haven't got. And so it's just coming back into presence. And that moment in the car, well, it wasn't, those hours in the car really gave me such a deep teaching. I didn't have to pay a lot of money and go and sit in an ashram or meditate for hours to get this realization. I just had to be aware of what was happening, my response to it, my usual response to it, and what had changed. And that is my little snippet for today. And I'm finding it being such a big teacher in so many areas, like catching myself, like, always wanting to have an extra couple of spare tubes of toothpaste because I never want to run out of toothpaste, but like having one is enough, or just waiting until it's halfway down the tube to buy a new one. Like, I've worked with people who hoard, who have, like an excess amount of shampoo, like a lifetime's worth of shampoo and some, and that comes from a place of need, of not feeling safe, right? And so whether I'm working with multimillionaires, or when I'm working with people who are hoarding, whether I'm working with, or looking at my own life, no amount of money, no amount of food, no amount of external validation can make you feel safe. Only healing can make you feel safe. Only your relationship to that which has created you, to source, to God, to the universe, depending on what your word, your thought, beliefs are, can make you feel safe. And I think that was one of the fundamental pieces when I was living as an atheist for decades, that I was always looking to fill the personal journey. No disrespect to people who have an atheist belief system, but I personally in that space was unconscious of most things, And I was always looking to find, I was always basically drugs and alcohol, right? I was always, or whatever, like I was always looking for something else to numb the feeling I was feeling in the present moment. And the drugs and the alcohol wasn't actual feeling that I was chasing. It was a non-presence that I was chasing, a non-awareness, a disconnectedness. Because whenever I was present, because I had no structure or connection, my only driving force in life was ambition to pursue the next thing, which was creative. Like was living as a very creative life, but it was all happiness was that external to the present moment. You know, when I've got this award, when I'm working with those kind of people, when I'm making this kind of work, then I'll be happy, then I'll be happy, then I'll be happy. And it was never here. I could never have looked at 6% and been happy, right? Poverty consciousness lives in that space as well. So I'm interested to know if you're watching this, what pops into your mind, like where is your area of discontent? Where for you are you like, oh, I need to buy more toothpaste, or I need to get more money, or I need to have more food in the fridge than this, or I need more attention from my partner than this, or I need, it's not to say those needs aren't valid, but where are you not feeling safe in life? Where are you always looking for an external compass to bring you further back into you? And where can you come further back into you? So you get high and grateful on 3% battery. That was a fun car ride because I was just so happy about it all. So happy about it all. And that, yeah, right. And once we become happy with what we have, then it's so much easier for more things to come to us. We don't want to give to people who, you know, when they get a present, you're like, oh yeah. And you're like, oh, spent my money and time and energy choosing that present for you to make you happy because I love you. And like you just, like, it's not registered. It doesn't seem to have given you what I wanted to give you. And it hasn't given me what I wanted to give me in the present of giving, because there's been no exchange here. And so you're like, well, next time that person has a party or a birthday, you're going to be like, well, I don't think I will bother getting them a present, or I'm certainly going to invest less time or energy in getting them a present because it didn't, you know, there was no gratitude there. And I feel like what we experience personally in our human emotions is the same energy that we then emit right into the field, into this field that we're all connected by, which is proven through science. We all like the word science these days. That is proven, like the field exists. So if you aren't grateful for what you've got now, how is more going to come to you? Like, how, and we all know those people who always want something for nothing because they're always in lack. And I don't mean real struggle, but the people whose tendency it is to complain, or like they get a kick. And I think we've all been there at points in our life, like looking for the thing to complain about, looking for this sense of entitlement or injustice in the world that means that they should have more free stuff. Like when I was in my head totally devoid of gratitude and brokenness for most things, like I'm deeply wedded to poverty consciousness, you know, I was always looking for the free token or the money off coupon in all sorts of ways, because I felt like I didn't have enough, so I wanted more for nothing. And that sense of like, it's really ugly energy, right? Thank you for any friends who've known me and stayed with me through the journey as it continues, because it's not an attractive, it's not a magnetic energy. Whereas someone who gets a present and is like lit up, or, you know, tears in their eyes, like it doesn't matter about the wealth of it, but like the sense of love and connection. Cars agree with me. You want to give more to them, right? You want to invite them on holiday. You want them at the party with you. You want to do the jazz with them. So that's my take for today. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Were you at Medicine Festival? Where are you needing more love? Where are you needing to feel more safe? And where are you looking at the 96% and not the 6% you've got? Lots of love.